Hi everyone, it's Liz from Crafted with Nani. I'm just hopping on just a couple minutes early while Jimmy Lou gets finished with hers, and then we will get us all started. So I'm just gonna sit here quietly while Jimmy Lou finishes up. It's gotta be hard to be hosting and having to run the background as well. She's done just a great job making these cute notebooks. Hi Beth, thank you for coming in. I'm just waiting for Jimmy Lou to get us all set up and shared into the Junk Journaling Jamboree. And she's almost finished up with her spot she's doing. Been watching her. I love doing these events, but when you set them up, it's a little scary at first. That's it. Put my glasses on. I love watching her finish up. How is your day, Beth? Ours has been kind of hectic. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for coming in. We just have one more minute, and then Jimmy Lee will get us all shared out. And we'll have fun. Yeah. How was your day, Jamie? Did you have a fun? I can't believe it's already Thursday, which means I'll be doing my live again tomorrow. Can't believe it's already Friday. I think I am going to go ahead out and try and find myself on my laptop, because I think Jimmy Lou's just about finished. And then we will get this started pretty soon here. Oh, look, there is that me? I can't even load myself. Having a hard time loading my own self up onto my pages lately. It says my request cannot be I don't think Facebook likes you to be on. Hi, Carol. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Jimmy Lou. Thank you for inviting me today. So we're in the Junk Journaling Jamboree. It's our Journal Pals event. And this is the cover I was sent. And we're going to put this all together. And I'm not going to even worry about bringing me up on a laptop because I can see comments. And we're just going to go with that. Hi, Becky. Hi, Mary. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Linda. So I have, we're going to have to take all this apart because I'm going to have to put it all back together. But I wanted to kind of make sure everything was going to work in my head before I did it. So what I did was I took, might as well just take it apart because we got, like I said, we got to take it apart and put it together again. So up after me is going to be Becky from Becky's Whimsy, and then closing us out tonight is Christy's from Christy's Crafty Cottage, and that'll be always fun. She's always fun. So I had this book. Let me get all of this off because, like I said, we have to glue it all back up anyways. I didn't glue anything down. I wanted to do it live with you guys, but I had this book. So it's The Wimpy Kid. So it's a hardbound book. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Penny. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Sandy. I left the front cover and the back cover because it worked with me. I love that color. And I just kind of dug the picture or the papers out of the center. Oh, it was a cute Lindoodle today. I loved it. I had so much fun doing it. And then I had this piece of fabric, and I actually think, I'm not sure actually where I got the fabric from. I want to say it came from the Messy Craft Corner, but I'm not 100% positive. So I put that down. I'm not going to put any extra fabric in between because, like I said, this is a very hardcover book, and I don't think I need anything. Hi, Beth. Hi, Kathleen. So let me bring the camera down. Hi, Bev. How are you, friend? You're going to be up late watching me tonight, huh? And Jamie and Peggy. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see better what we're going to do, and then we're going to start gluing and making a journal. And then my journal, I sell, my portion goes towards our, it's called Cowboy Church, and they have a rodeo for the kids. And I have all these little pieces of paper, but I give 20% to my church for the rodeo fund. So I'm just gonna, like I said, we're gonna glue this paper on. And I think what I want to start with is I'm gonna glue the center here. Hi, Molly Jasper. How are you? And Sue. I'm gonna see one more time if I can no, I can't. See, it just will not load my, oh, there we did. It finally loaded it up. Okay, so it loaded it up on my computer in case I can't read comments. Hi, Yvonne. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Sandora. How are you? Hi, Stacy. Thank you. So we're just going to glue this into the center here. And I'm not going to worry about that you can see these little papers because I'm going to do like a hidden spine in there and it's going to be all covered up. But I do want to, these little tabs from where I cut the material, I want them to sit inside of here nicely. So I'm just sticking those in. Didn't Jimmy Lou do a great job making those beautiful cute pamphlets and the pads? So easy to make for people, so easy. So on this side I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover the inside just kind of like how we would do any other fabric. I was going to, I think I am going to clip the corners here just to make sure it folds nicely. And I really don't need all of that material. So let me just go ahead and cut a little bit sideways there. I'm going to leave me a little bit extra, and then I'm just going to cut straight. And then Sue's journal was really cute with all her fairies. And then we're going to go ahead and kind of miter cut that. And that'll just help everything lay flat. And whatever we do not use those scissors with glue. Those are my good fabric scissors. So I'm just going to glue this down. And we'll go from there. And at this point, since I am covering the complete book, it doesn't really even matter whether I have it upside down or not. It will matter soon when I get the pages in, but at this point it doesn't matter. So I'm just putting this fabric over the top, and then I'm going to put the fabric over here. Hi, Cheryl. Hey, Mel's Crafty Corner. How are you today? Thank you for coming in and watching. And Stacy, how are you? From Maryland. I've never been to Maryland at all. I've not gotten to go to those upper states yet at all. That's on my bucket list, is to get to those 4 or 5 of those top states up there. So I am going to use this paper, and we're going to glue this paper down. I just want to put a little bit of glue on this little corner here. I might have to trim it just a little bit. I'm going to use these scissors because it has a little bit of glue, and we don't want no glue on those. So this paper that came in the book, I'm going to use as my cover paper for inside. And I thought, well, that just works out perfect to have this. And when I was cutting the actual pages out of the book, I was so glad that there wasn't anything written on these 2 pages and that I didn't cut them out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use fabric tack, and I'm just going to go down and I'm going to put, even though there's really not a lot of fabric on here, I want it to be able to stay really nicely. I'm not going all the way to the edge because this paper doesn't go all the way out to the edge. And where is my little spatula at? Here's my spatula. So let me just take my little spatula and I'll go down like that. So I hope everybody can see what I'm doing. Let me know if I need to adjust the camera. Hi Sue B, how are you? Hi Deb, thank you for coming in. So I'm just, I missed the first, I guess maybe the first 11 minutes of Jimmy Lou's The Messy Craft Corner. I missed the first 11 minutes. I have to go back and watch. I had to drive home from work, so I missed that part. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit and get my good scissors just so I can trim this a little bit. Because like I said, it really wouldn't matter if I had it all the way. I mean, it really wouldn't matter, but we'll have so much bulk in the corner. So I'm just going to go ahead and do what we did on the other side. And just going to kind of miter it off. And then I'm just going to kind of follow this one line down here. Like I said, we're going to cover it with paper anyways. But this way it'll be kind of matched up like on the other side. Okay, let's put you away. Put those scissors away. You did your job. And then we're just going to add some more glue. Hi, Debbie Hudson. I see your name in there. How are you today? Hope everybody's had a great Thursday. I always think of today as Friday because it's kind of technically my Friday because I don't work Fridays normally. Last week I had to work Friday, but normally I don't work Fridays. So Thursday is kind of like my Friday. So I'm just trying to get this lying down pretty good, minus the hair. When you get glue all over your fingers, then you pick up everything, right? It just gets everywhere. I'll be peeling off glue off my fingers forever. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to glue this page down. And like I said, it was just absolutely perfect that it fit. There's like a little piece of glue right here, and I don't want it to ruin my page. It's got one of those glue spider webs going. So Bev, how's you guys' weather over there in Wales? We're still in the 90s. I don't know when it's ever gonna get to be fall. I think we're supposed to get rain the next 4 days, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen today unless it happens late tonight because it's still hot out right now. Hot? Hotter than Dickens, they say, right? Hotter than Dickens. All right, so we're going to get that out of the way. And whoo, this glue's got a smell today. And I'm just going to pinch this a little closer together because it was splitting right there. And since this book is for sale, we want to make sure it's perfect for somebody who wants to buy it. And if anybody's interested in buying it, you can just say me, 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 and give me an offer for it. I'd like to get $65 for the church for it. Well, at least 20% of it. And then that turned out perfect. So we have a beautiful cover for it, and it can be sitting there drying while we work on our signatures. And I'm going to put this piece, like I said, this is the piece that Jimmy Lou sent us, And Jimmy Lou, if you're still here, is there some of this available that if they want to purchase, can they get this from you, or did you send all of them out? Because I know you didn't have a lot of them, but they're so cute. Mine says, with God, all things are possible. And that's Mark 10:27. And it's so true. I'm telling you, it is so true. Just with my life alone, I can verify that. It's so true. So all I did was take my sewing machine, and because it has this black trim, and as you can see, I used white thread, and I just went around the edge because it was too wide for the book cover. That's okay, sweetie. You can come back and watch the replay later if you want to. Hope you're cooking something fun. I'm going to make mac and cheese when I get done here. So I'm just trying to see whether I want it up high or down low. And then I also want to put this pink seam binding behind it. And I didn't iron it. Probably should have. And this is just a tad bit crooked, so I'm trying to, that's what's throwing my eye off, is that one line is kind of crooked. Okay, good. So next Friday you'll be able to purchase the material that we're all using, and you can make your own books with it. So I'm just putting the glue around the edge of this material, and I'm just going to add a little bit in the center. I don't want it to like seep all the way through my fabric. Just have enough there, and I'm going to lay it down and just kind of press it in. And I love these flowers, and I love the colors. And this is one of, I think they're called pansies. I think there's one of my favorite flowers. Apparently they really grow great in Texas, and they grow in the winter time here. That's what I've been told anyways. So we're going to have this wrapped around, and this is going to be our closure. But I do have some clips and a boy, I got like hair stuck to my fingers big time. Ugh, that's that's not nice to look at. But I have these clamps. These are little magnets, and then I have these little clamps here that I hooked on, and I'm hopefully, when we find out how fat she's going to be, I'm going to add those to these strands, and that'll be our closure. But we're going to move this off to the side, and then later we could add some lace around here if we have time, and we're going to work on our signature while we have this drying. And like I said, I'm not going to punch holes. We're not going to see any of the signature come through, because I'm going to do it as, what do they call that, a hidden spine. So I took a piece of this green, and I don't know why I picked green, but there was green in this flower, and so it worked, and it looks good with the yellow, so that's what I'm going to use to sew it in with, and then glue it in with that. So to me it works in my head. I was telling Jimmy Lou the other day, ooh, we have a glue avalanche going on. I was telling Jimmy Lou that I made this journal the other night when I was laying in bed, and I made it in my head. And I said, well, it works in my head. Let's see if it works in reality. So, have you ever done that? Have you ever built something like totally, you know, like from step to step, you know, without even having the stuff with you? That's what I did. It was, I like literally had the papers in my head, and I was building it piece by piece by piece. Now the printables I got from Cecil, I was trying to say Lisa and Siegel at the same time, and I came out Siegel. But Lisa from the Vintage Roots Digital Designs, she made the printables for me. My husband was so kind to print it out for me. And so we have them. And I haven't decided yet which one I want to have as my beginning one. So, and I'm only going to do one signature in this book because it's not even, I don't even think the spine's an inch. My spine is just 3/4 of an inch. So I knew it was not going to fit 2 signatures. So we're just going to make one kind of chubby one. So I do love this one, but I love this one too. So I love them all. That's my problem. So we're going to try and see. I'm thinking I really would like to have this as my opening. Just because the flowers, the colors match the flowers, you know, and that's what I did is I sent Lisa a picture of this and I said, please print me out a printable matching this paper. And voila, she did it. So let's do that. And then this one has like some journal spots on it. So we'll add that in there. And then I have some extra pages. And I have this little page here that we can write on. And then we have another one of her pages. And I have a cute doily. Hey, Julie, happy birthday to you. I don't know if everybody knows it's Julie's birthday today. And then I have some solid color papers. And it's the same weight as my normal, you know, regular copy paper. Sorry, I had to cough. So I'm just going to add like some solid colors in here throughout the book. Like I said, we're going to have one signature. So I'm just kind of building it right now, and then we can always move things around if it starts to look too heavy in an area or. And I really haven't even counted all the papers, so I have no idea how many papers. And I have this cute bag that I got from my daughter on her trip. And I did open the ends. And then I made this, I've shown this on my lives before. I think I got this from the idea, everybody's done it, but I think, somebody in ink. She's doing 365 days of journaling. But anyways, I put 2 pieces of paper. I wanted to get it to the right thing because the A, B, and C's are going across the top. And you just put them together, and then you have 2 pockets, and it kind of goes all the way through. And I'm going to put that in there. And that'll go pretty right there. And then we have another one of these beautiful prints. And like we printed them 2-sided. Let's find another color paper. And let's see. We could use the yellow because this one has a lot of yellow on that page. And we'll add maybe this page. And then we have this one that has a lot of color. And then we can add the purple next to that. Like I said, this is going to be a fat, we'll count up how many, no problem, Julie. Yeah, everybody sing happy birthday to Julie. You don't want me to sing. I'm a lousy singer. And I add another doily. I can sing you the favorite song that they used. My husband was in a band for many years, and the song that they sang when he was playing, that was when it was somebody's birthday, and he would say, "It's your birthday, you're old now, and you don't look quite the same. Your eyes are all wrinkled from lack of sleep, and you don't even know your name." So that's the song he would sing for the birthday thing. So there you go. There's my little bit of singing. It was my crazy voice. It was not very good. So I'm going to put another bag that my daughter brought me home from her trip. It's so pretty. And then we'll add, we've got, let's see, 3 more papers in here. Let's put one that's like a journal page if I can get my fingers to pick it up. And then we're going to count and see if we have to remove something. And then we'll do this green. And then we have 2 more journal pages. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's see what the inside. And this is going to be our inside, I think. I almost think this should be the inside one. So let me move this one to here. And I think I like that. Now, I know that it should be between 15. Thank you. Thank you. This is why I don't sing for a profession. No. My husband actually, it's a funny story of it. When I met my husband, you know, some of you probably know, and I've told you guys over the time that my husband used to be Sonny and Cher's piano player. He was on the TV show. He didn't actually work for Sonny and Cher. He worked for, I don't know if it was NBC or whatever, the studio, because he was on the television show for the 10 series. And so when we got together, he would play music, you know, he still played music, and I would sing along with the radio, and then he would reach over and change the radio station, and then I'd start singing again, and then he would change the radio station, and then finally I was like, what's that? He goes, well, you're not singing in key, or something like that. So he sent me to school to learn how to sing in key. I thought, well, that was rude, but but anyways, he did, and I cut a song, and that was my song. I sang a song, but it was funny. But so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we have 23, which is really pushing our boundaries. I mean, we're really pushing it. I almost feel like we should take a couple out. But since we're only doing the one signature, I think we can get away with it. And so I'm going to leave them all in. You do you, and I will do this. So I'm just going to clip these in, and we know that they're all in the right direction because we just put them in here. I'm going to pat these ones down. Yeah, it was funny, and then I knew that I could finally carry kind of a tune when he no longer changed the radio stations. And then my poor daughter, he put her through music school because she's tone deaf. And then the next thing you know, it's just like he finally just told her she wasn't allowed to sing at the house. So, because he has perfect pitch, and it hurts him. His hairs on his arms would stand up if you sang off key. So it's like, it's funny. You gotta laugh, you know. So I'm going to, I already pre-put the holes inside of my green card here. And I'm going to do this in reverse. And I'm going to put my, in the back way. And I don't know if it's going to help or not, and I can always reverse them afterwards before I start sewing it in. But I just want to make sure the holes get lined up where I have it. And we have to pick a color. So this is going to be the only place where you're going to really see any of the threads. And I was going to do this pink, but now that I see it in here, I mean, it's okay, but there's really more orange on this page than there is pink. And I have a lighter orange and I have this darker orange. And I almost, I don't know. I don't know. No rules. I know, that's why I like junk journaling. Now it's just, you know, I gave myself too many colors to choose from. I could almost do a black because there is like this black going straight up the center. And I think I really like the black because it looks like the part of the picture. So I think, and actually this is a dark blue, not even black. Not even black. What color is that? This one's black. So I think we're going to use black. Anybody else have any idea? You're going to be right back? Okay, you'll be right back, Jamie. So we're going to do 3 links and then a little bit extra. And I have all of this out now that I don't need it out. Like I said, I always keep my threads with the plastic wrap just because we live like in the desert area. And I'm always afraid it's going to dry out, even though I do have it in a container. So I do love these pansies. You're not supposed to use your teeth as tools. That's how come probably you like the orange. Oh, Jimmy Lou. Okay, I like the orange too because it's actually my favorite color. All right, we can use the black for another one. I do like the orange. Jimmy Lou's the boss. We'll go with her. She's got all of the smart wisdom of it. And orange is my color, actually. You know, like you take those tests and they say which color you are, you know, kind of deal. I'm an orange. And it's real. I am really an orange. I don't really want that. I'm going to use that one, I think. But I was watching Jimmy Lou and Larry said he has a toothache, and I'm thinking, don't be using your teeth to open things. You're going to have to go to the dentist. So we're going to use the orange. If it doesn't turn out, it'll all be Jimmy Lou's fault. Let me try and see if I can get just a little bit of this glue off so I don't make a mess on the pages. And normally I can just go like this and get my glue off, but all right, so let's clip these on just so it doesn't move on me. And like I said, I've never done a journal this way. And like I said, never do something new when you're doing an event, but I always seem to be doing something new when I do an event. And so that way I have my holes where I want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this down and try not to get my little finger on the other side because we're going through a lot. We're going through, was it 22 pages? That's a lot to go through. And even my awl is having a hard time getting through it. So I'm trying to, I thought that was going to be a good idea, but I might have to go through the center. I don't want to get to my finger, so let me unclap that and see why I'm off. Like I said, we are going through an awful lot of paper. An awful lot. Oh, see, I missed it just by a little bit, but that's okay because, you know, we are actually gluing this whole paper down, so there's not a problem, really. You'll never see it. You will never see it. So my idea, that one I got in there. So, there's my last one. And that one I got almost in there. So we have that, and we're just going to sew it onto this paper. I'm not even sewing it into the book. I'm just sewing it right here. So I'm going to take out my center one, and I'm going to go out through my center. And some reason I always seem to not leave myself enough on my tail. So I'm going to try and hold on to this, and I left myself a little bit longer tail this time, and we'll see if that works. So we're through here. And then we're going to hold this one tight, and we're going to get through this one. And what do you know? We went through all of them so far. So now we got to go back through the center. And voila! We're in. We're in like Flynn. So let me get rid of my needle. I'm just going to pull it to make sure we're tight. Play my little guitar there. And I do like the orange. It was a good choice, Jimmy Lou. And I'm going to tie it in a couple of knots. And then we're going to put a bow. I probably will put some cute dangles on it. Yes, next up is Becky's Whimsy, and then after her, closing us out, is Christy's Crafty Cottage. So let me just put all of my tools away. And I'm not sure what they picked. Like I said, all of us got different different covers. So it's going to be fun to see what she got. And I'm going to keep this thread that I already cut, and I'll put it in my bin, and I'll use it next time. I'm actually going to be making a journal tomorrow, and I can probably use that black tomorrow. I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to get rid of my little glue. Oh no, I need it. I still need the glue because we got to glue this in. Okay, so we're going to bring our journal back over, and we're going to load up. Now we have to make sure that we are in the right direction. That we're putting everything in correctly, because we're going to glue this bad baby inside, and then we have our two wings on the outside that will glue down. And I just think that I think it's kind of cool that you can use a hardbound book and be able to do it. So we're going to just load. You thought I was starting in the back? No, I'm good. I think I'm good. This is the front. I know the cameras are, when they're twisted, it makes everything look crazy sometimes. But thank you for coming in, Missy. How are you? If you guys have not hit the follow button on my page, I would love for you to follow. So like I said, I'm going to load this baby up with lots of glue, and hopefully we'll be able to decorate a little bit. That's a lot of glue. Woo. I did use a lot of glue. So I'm just going to put this down, and then we're going to press and hold. And I wasn't able to get every single piece of paper out of there, and I'm okay with that because it does give it a little bit of height, but I didn't want to accidentally cut through. So I'm just holding down my center, and I'm lining it up, and I'm just going to press this in, and we're just going to hold it down. Thank you, Stacy, for following. Yeah, I started my page over, and so I really, well, I put a lot in it. It's actually leaking through. So let me see if I can get a paper towel, or I have a little bit of leftover. I don't want it to glue itself to my first page here. we go. We have a book within a book. And I picked up these books at a Goodwill, and I think it was like $1 for the book. And all of the pages from the book I'm saving to be able to put in other books. Oh, I said my knot was going to be on the back. No, I said that you're not going to see any knots on this side, that we weren't going to have any, you weren't going to be able to see the signatures on the spine. I think that's what I meant to say, if I misspoke somehow. Just making sure that this lines up. Looks pretty good. See, that's what it's going to look like in the spine. I think I just misspoke when I was talking about not being able to see the knot. That makes sense. So on this paper, I'm going to glue the green paper down, and then we'll clamp it, and then we should be able to work on a couple of pages, maybe. But let me go ahead and add a little bit more glue right here, because I don't want anybody to be able to see all that icky stuff. And then I will get my clamps back out, which I just put away. That's what happens when you clean up your mess too fast. But I'm going to use these clamps for right now. And I'm going to put that on there because I can put those down. And I think I have 4 of them. And then that way we can still kind of use the book and, you know, play with the book. And then later, if I don't like this green, I can always put some lace over the top of it. But I kind of like the bold colors. I'm a very colorful person, you know. There's really not a color I don't like, you know. I say I don't like pink, but I pick pink up all the time. And I don't know. I know I have one more of these clamps. But can I find it? No. So we'll use this one for right now. But, so that's what we have. And we just want to make sure that we can still open and close the book. And I can. And I think I might have to, what is our time? We have 15 minutes. I hope I'm not knocking the camera. I still have not moved the camera off. So let me go ahead and move this out of the way. And I did make something else that maybe we can play with on it and add to it while this dries. And then on Monday, I will work on this book on my live, and I'll let Jimmy Lou know so she can put it in a junk journaling jamboree. And I have some cute papers I got to go with it. Because when you get a printable like that, sometimes it's, you know, you're trying to figure out how you're going to decorate it with the ephemera. When you ask somebody to make you pages, give me some hearts for a good job. Yeah, give me some hearts, guys. That was hard work to think about. I did all of this in bed, in my head, before I came out. I made this book in bed. It's so funny. But anyways, I'm going to put a waterfall in it. And I just kind of cut the papers. And so I have them ready to go, kind of. And we can just kind of play with putting some pictures on this waterfall. And I'm not going to put the waterfall in today, because I'm not sure where we're going to do it, but at least we can decorate it. And then last night, I was on Jamie's page with Just Crafting with Jamie too, and we made this little one-page wonder thing, and I thought that's kind of cute, and it's just got some tucks and stuff, and then we can add that into the book. And I'm going to add it on the edge of a page, and I'm not sure where yet, but I'm going to have it to where it's folded over a page, kind of like that. And so you have a tuck here, and then you'll have a tuck here, and it'll open up. And so that's what I'm going to do on that. And like I said, we made that last night in Jamie's live last night. So I made one of those, and then she made one that was kind of wrong, but I'm going to use it anyways because, you know, we were just all fussing around with papers and stuff. So I have another one that we might use in the book. And like I said, I'm just going to let this sit over here so it can finish drying. And then all I did was, have anybody ever used this really heavy, it's black, it's by Ruby, I guess, Roobee by Mara. It's designer paper pad. I don't know where I got it. It says smooth black on it. It's 50 sheets. But boy, I tell you, when you cut this paper, it has so much shredding on it. And it really eats up. I mean, it gets stuck in my guide so much. So you just have to do a lot of cleaning when you use this paper. So I'm not recommending. I love the flat black. Don't get me wrong. I love that. But look at when you cut it. And it is black on black. I mean, you don't see hardly any white inside of it at all. But it really rags. It's like rag paper. And I do like the texture and everything, and I even like how it's, you know, got that little bit of rag going on it. But but boy, I'm telling you, you really have to clean your little cutter out really a lot when you're working with it. So let me get rid of my glue tool because it is sticking to everything. So I was going through Facebook and I saw this on a page. It's free downloads. And they're just these old people on flower beds. So I thought it would be so cute to make a waterfall using all of these little characters. They're just little old ladies and, you know, laughing and doing their gardening and stuff. And this is a book, you know, with flowers. And I thought, oh, so cute. So I printed those out. And I think there's 8 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is a mighty big waterfall, and I don't think we're going to get it to, I don't think it's going to be a push waterfall. I think it's just going to be a regular waterfall. I don't know. We'll get that bridge. Hi, Molly Jasper. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, oh, I could sand it, huh? Let's see what happens. I do have my emery board. Let's see if I could sand, what it would happen if I sanded it off. Well, it really doesn't, it's just making more. But boy, I'm telling, I mean, I love the look because I like that ragged look a little bit. That does help it a little bit. If that's what you're meant to say. I might be doing something you won't even... Well, it helped a little bit. But look at all that black. So anyways, like I said, I love these little ladies. And my little squares here, I think they're 4 by 4. I'm not 100% sure. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for coming in. They're 4.5 inches wide by 4 inches. I knew I did it a little bit wrong when I was making it last night. So we got 4.5 wide. And I'm not trying to fill the whole thing. I'm just trying to put a picture on it. So I'm okay if it's not exact, is what I guess I'm trying to say. So don't forget that you can just refresh your page. If you're watching this under the Junk Journaling Jamboree, you don't have to, you just have to refresh your page and you'll be able to see Becky come up. And if you're not watching it under the Junk Journaling Jamboree, shame on you. No, I'm just teasing you. You can watch it any way you want to. You can go to her page or you can refresh through the Junk Journaling Jamboree. I actually was watching Jimmy Lou through the Junk Journaling Jamboree, and it made it easier for me to bring her up on my page, actually. So, all right, so let's see how she's gonna look. I love these little ladies. I think they're so cute. I got these from Facebook. They're just a free download on Facebook. Oh, that's going to be so cute on there. And like I said, I'm not going to try and match every single one of them up because I think it's almost going to, oh, I might be able to now that I got my first one. So let's measure our first one and we'll try and see if we can get the rest of them to match. So of course I wouldn't do anything, you know, so it's 3 3/4. I should probably write that down. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, slightly. Okay, so we'll do the next one. This, I'm not sure, I think is a lady because she looks like she's got chest. She looks like she's got, but some men have them too, so we're gonna have to cut quite a bit off of her to get 3 3/4. So I'm gonna cut that down. Don't let me run out of time. But like I said, I'll finish working on this on, I need to get all the way down to 3 and, what did we say we were doing? See, my little brain. 3 3/4. So we just have to cut that off, and then I need to cut, this one was slightly 3 5/8, so 3 5/8. I don't want to cut her little hair off. Well, I'm going to cut a little bit of her hair off because I do want to keep her little pink tennis shoes in. So I think that's going to be okay for our next one. So then we have her right there. And we have her. So as long as I keep them so the eye looks good, I think we'll be okay. I'm not going to glue anybody down until I know for sure that everybody is the right height. 3 5/8. 3 5/8. Should write that down. All right, get that trimmed. But boy, last night when I was cutting that black, it was just all over the place. And then this is 3 3/4. I should be doing them all the same, and then I wouldn't have this problem. All right, so now we're going to do this one at 3 3/4. So I'm going to take the white off on this side. And I should have had all of this done beforehand, but then I wouldn't have had anything to do. Okay, so we have 4 of them. We just need 4 more. Like I said, I really love that lady on the front, so I think I'm going to keep her up on the front so far. I love them all, but she's super cute. She's super cute. So we gotta do 4 more, and I have like 12. I did a whole bunch of them because I'm going to use them throughout the book. Look at this lady's face. I mean, come on. How can you not love her? And they were free. Free to use, it said. Free to use. All right, so once again, I'm going to have to use my little cheater tool, 5/8. Cut that. So what do you think Becky's going to do? I wonder. I mean, so far we've all been so different, haven't we? I mean, we just really have been, nobody's done anything similar to each other, which just kind of amazes me. All right, let me get this lady back. Apparently I cut her just slightly too small, but that's going to be okay because she's going to go behind anyway, so we can snaggle her down a little bit. And we need, come on you guys, you're supposed to tell me 3 3/4. Not supposed to have to measure in junk journaling. I love that lady. So this little lady will have to come down just a little bit, but that's all right. So we just need 2 more, and then we can glue them on. And I think my time's going to be out. I only got 4 or 6 minutes. So by the time I get these ones measured, let's trim off their feet first. How many of you guys have one of those cinch tools like Jimmy Lou has? I do not have anything like that at all in my arsenals. Nothing like that. I shouldn't say that word either. Silly me. All right, what was our total again? Our top is 3 5/8. And I don't have any kind of tool like that cinch tool. She got all the good tools, doesn't she? I'm telling you, she really does. She's got all the fun tools. I love watching the Messy Craft Corner to learn so much. I love bookmakers. I've learned how to do so many things in bookmakers that it just amazes me. Whatever this one is, okay, we do need to take down just, I'm going to leave it. I think it's going to be good. So we have them in here, and now we just got to glue them on. So I'm going to move this out of the way. It's called a cinch. It's that tool that puts the ring binding, I don't have one even here. So instead of it being bound like that, it's got the metal wire that goes through, kind of like, you know, those flip folders. Jimmy Lou can explain it. It's the thing that she used to put that metal clip, and it puts the holes inside of it so everything lines up, and then it locks those metal rings on. So I think I like that centered right there. So I'm going to use my glue. You don't have one? Yeah, I don't have one either. I think Jimmy Lou out of this whole thing is the only one that's got one. We're all going to go buy one, but Jimmy Lou's the only one that's got one, right? So I'm just going to add the glue around the... And I think I'm light-handed on my glue sometimes. I think I really am. I always think I use too much glue, but then when I watch other people glue, I'm thinking, well, I don't use very much glue at all. So I'm just trying to line this up, and my top one will be folded over, so I'm not putting anything on that. And then that's super cute. And then we'll put this lady man, whatever it is. I think it's an old lady, but I can't really say. And I'm going to say she's an old lady. She's just wearing her wife beater shirt. That's what we used to call those, is wife beater shirts. And she just looks like a a granny. And she's out there. She's got pink tennis shoes on, so I'm going to go with that she's a girl. She's definitely not wearing a brassiere, but that's okay. And then I love her little cheeks. Aren't they so cute? I mean, when I saw these little ladies, man, I couldn't hit the save button fast enough. I was saving. And then I didn't even wait for my husband to print. I started printing last night. I'm just going print, 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 print. These guys are so stinking cute. And then I was going to send it to Lisa and say, can you make me these? And I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and use the lady, because I wouldn't want her to, you know, be copying somebody else's just from, you know, kind of deal. But so these two are wearing pink tennis shoes, and this one has blue on it. And look at this little lady with her little blue eyes. Isn't she adorable? And I love the picket fence. I wish I could grow a garden. Yeah, Jimmy Lou, you do use a lot of glue. But I don't think I use very much at all, because look at this little bottle. I have not filled this bottle up very much at all. I'm just kind of putting the other one down just because, you know, with that white, it's really going to show up a lot. And I just want to make sure that I have, you know, these lined up with each other. Just because with it being behind the black, it's going to show really easily, you know. And I love how it stands out with the black behind it. And then we got this little lady. This is me, my little overalls, my white hair I have now. I don't have blue eyes, though. I have brown eyes, so this is not me. It's my sister-in-law. She's got those cheeks. I always joke because my sister-in-law, I hope she's not watching, to me, she looks just like my grandma. And I always say in my head, I don't say it out loud, I always say, oh my goodness, my brother married my grandma. She looks just like my grandma. And I love my grandma, so it's a compliment, actually. But, you know, you don't want to tell your sister-in-law she looks like your grandma. So I hope she's not watching. Love you, Terry, if you are watching. But yeah, she looks, her facial features, they look just like my grandmother's. It's so funny. Like I said, I love my grandma. We all called her Nan. And I loved her. She was she was really the only grandma I was really around a lot. So this one is kind of off a little bit, but it's still going to line up. So I think we're good. And my time is up. So go see Becky, you guys. I went over a minute. Bye, everyone. Go see Becky. Becky's Whimsy. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.